So good morning, everybody. So we're going to pick up Genesis 27. I actually made it through a whole chapter last week, but I have a sneaking suspicion this is a long chapter, so I don't think I'll make it through the whole thing.
Come on, you can do it.
If I talk fast, yeah. But yeah. So this again should be hopefully very familiar territory for most everybody, but hopefully some good lessons and some good takeaways. So chapter 27, we're going to start at verse 1. And remember, already between Jacob and Esau, Esau sold his birthright. We've already talked about that. But now this gets into the blessing and the deception that both Rebekah and Jacob play on Esau and Isaac. So starting in verse 1, one day when Isaac was old and turning blind, he called for Esau, his older son, and said, "My son." "Yes, father," Esau replied. So right off the bat, we're told that Isaac was old and blind. So we're kind of setting up the framework of how he's going to be deceived later. But the interesting thing with this first line is, as someone was about to die, and culturally, right, any of the patriarchs, and we even saw this with Abraham, when the patriarch's about to die, culturally, they bring in everybody. So this is a very public thing whenever they give the blessing to the firstborn. So why is it that y'all think maybe he didn't call both sons? It's almost like he's trying to do this in secret and bring Esau in by himself and keep Jacob from having any blessing or public validation of this blessing. So
I'm afraid they'd do what they did.
Okay.
They would find some way to circumvent it.
He knew Rebekah was Jacob's. Jacob was her favorite, I guess, or
Yeah.
maybe not favorite, maybe not be the word, but he knew that.
Didn't mean to fix that woman this morning.
Didn't want to say.
Did he?
Yeah, God had told her.
Do you think he knew what happened between Jacob and Esau?
That's kind of what I was curious, because Scripture doesn't tell us. We don't know exactly what Isaac knows here. We don't know.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, we don't know if he knows the selling of the birthright. We don't know if Rebekah actually shares the prophecy with him. So it's interesting, right? So we see a little bit of the family dysfunction, and Isaac not applying to the cultural norms of the day, right? And it even kind of plays out later with Laban and Leah and Rachel. The firstborn, he even says, "Hey, we don't play that around here. We marry off the firstborn first." So yes, father, Esau replied, "I am an old man now," Isaac said, "and I don't know when I may die. Take your bow and a quiver full of arrows and go out into the open country to hunt some wild game for me." Now, again, typically they call on everybody to do this blessing on the deathbed. So it's, again, exactly. Why is he doing it early? He knows his health is failing, but this isn't the norm. So it's just some things to think about. So take your bow and quiver full of arrows, go out into the open country to hunt some wild game for me. Prepare my favorite dish and bring it here for me to eat. Then I will pronounce the blessing that belongs to you, my firstborn son, before I die. So again, we see that Isaac is very much a foodie. He cares more about the food than he does following the cultural norms. But Rebekah overheard what Isaac had said to his son Esau. So when Esau left to hunt for the wild game, she said to her son Jacob, "Listen, I overheard your father say to Esau." Now, before I go into verse 7,
His son and her son.
his son and her son.
They even say saw him talking to their son.
Yep. Or your brother, or anything of the nature. So what does that say about the family dynamic between Rebekah and they've got a very much a divided house. So, yep. What does this play out, or should this tell us as parents about us and our children?
They know when it's divided.
They know when it's divided. Know when there's favoritism. Okay.
So when my daddy remarried a year after my mom died,
Mm-hmm.
that's how we've been introduced, even up into this day. These are his kids, these are my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's me and my sister, and then stepmom said, these are my children, these are his children. It's not this is our children.
Okay, but so with that though,
Same?
well, that's what I was going to say. So you said it was a step parent, right? So do y'all have the same dad at all? No. So this would be like me, because my dad remarried a couple like last year before. So how old were you when that happened?
So my mom died when I was 7. He remarried when I was 8.
7 and then 8. Okay. So yeah, that would probably be a little weird, being that little, because I think with like Jackson and Zoe, we would say, our kids. But like as an adult with my dad getting remarried, I don't feel like Sandy's kids are my siblings, like at all. Yeah, like I don't say I've got sisters.
But this is like, these are twins.
Yeah, these are twins.
This is like, I have 4 siblings, okay? And that would be like my dad claiming my oldest brother and not having anything to do with the rest of us.
Yeah.
Or we have a set of twins, like my dad saying Blake is his and Jake is my mama's. They're both full-blooded, both of their children, but they've chosen to only concentrate on one, and it clearly shows.
Yeah.
So how do you think those children are going to grow up? Well, you see that a lot with like divorced families.
Yeah.
My cousin's going through this with her ex-husband. They have agreed that one daughter is my cousin's and one daughter is her dad's,
Yeah.
and that the third child they're fighting over.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it's that same kind of vibe.
Yeah.
When you see a divorced family, so the dynamic here is almost like they're divorced and each claiming a kid.
It's a conscious choice.
Yeah. It is a conscious choice.
Right, and so that kid is asking why.
Yeah.
She has Kiva.
Yeah.
And Paul. I also have Justin. We have our kids.
Yeah.
And that's how we talk about it.
Yeah.
And then you've got someone like David who came in and he adopted the 2.
Yeah.
This one and the other one.
Yeah.
And we have Logan, but we don't separate them. They're not my kids, your kids. Unless we're joking about your child did this bad
Yeah.
thing.
Now, when Zoe's all sweet and bubbly, she's my daughter. But when she's being a brat, that's his kid.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's not because of the parenting, it's just because she acting like you today, babe.
Well, and I think when the children are older,
Yeah.
there have been times when I made the distinction because at one point Gabe was like, "You're not my mom,"
Yeah.
and so I would say, but things have gotten better.
Yeah. And I mean,
But it's a real thing. There are some decisions I just cannot make for Zoe because I am not her mother. You know what I mean? It's not just up to me. But it's hard when it's a blended family, and it really does depend on at what age they are.
Yes.
And Zoe feels like she just let all this out last night.
Oh, yeah.
Feels like that we treat Jackson differently than her, and we do because he's older than she is.
Yes. And
He gets to stay up a little bit later. He
Yeah.
does get some allowances that she does not get at her age and her maturity level. I'm sorry, but we can't trust her with the same things that we can trust Jackson with.
Right.
But she feels that difference, and so she's already trying to say that, oh, y'all treat Jackson differently.
Well, and that's why it's important to explain to her that,
Mhm.
and when you show maturity,
Yeah.
Exactly. And so Noah says, well, Zoe, do you think that you go to bed later now than you did when you were a baby? Absolutely. Do you
Mhm.
think that as you get older, we'll let you stay up a little bit later? Absolutely. He had to show her that it wasn't about because he's Jackson and she's Zoe. It's about that age.
The age, yeah.
But see, that's not at all. What
That's
we're
not at
doing
all.
here.
That's not at all what's doing here. This is straight up favoritism.
It is favoritism,
And that doesn't actually have anything to do with a blended family. That is just the way things are in the family.
Yeah.
When you have older kids and younger kids, you deal with them differently.
Yep.
That first one comes along and you're like, oh gosh, I gotta do everything to help them. And by the time you get to the second or third, it's like, go on.
and the same things don't work.
Mm-mm.
Right. Their temperaments.
No.
In fact, second children actually usually have it easier than first children because parents tend to be less strict on the second child.
My
Oh, yeah.
daddy had a lot of ambition
Tired.
for my oldest brother.
they
And there's
play
grandchildren
sports and
that
all
you don't
these
even
things.
count.
What's that?
Their grandchildren, it's like they're the
I
favorite anyway.
wonder culturally too, because it sounds like they have different tenets.
Yeah.
Because Isaac took the children's mother's tent.
Yeah.
His parents' tent,
Yep.
not his father's tent.
It
Yeah.
makes me wonder, after the children were born, did they separate? They were all lovey-dovey at the beginning. Once the children were born, did the children
Yeah.
come between their relationship?
And that's a good
Did they
point.
allow their
Did the children come between it? And, biblically, should we, as Christian parents, allow that to happen?
Children
Nope.
should be the blessing of the relationship.
Yeah.
Not
And
the children are the main focus.
Yeah.
Although you might also wonder, since they're the beginning of Jewish tradition, some of the traditions haven't been established yet, but maybe things like having to be separate from a woman because her cycle might have been earlier, so they had their own tents for those times.
Yeah.
I mean, culturally, we know that that's coming, and
Yep.
maybe the tradition started
Yeah.
because of previous things. It's hard to say.
All right. So, no, yeah. So I'm going to read verse 6, go into 7. So she said to her son Jacob, "Listen, I overheard your father say to Esau, 'Bring me some wild game and prepare me a delicious meal. Then I will bless you in the Lord's presence before I die. Now, my son,'" again, she's my son, "listen to me. Do exactly as I tell you." So that line right here in the Hebrew, that is the only time that any of the matriarchs or any of the females in the Old Testament use that authoritative language of command. Only time. So she is basically establishing an authority in here that typically isn't seen in any, culturally any females, and it's not seen anywhere else in the Old Testament. So with that, because again, she's using the masculine form of command here, is she stepping outside of her God-given role in the marriage and in the relationship?
Well, obviously, I mean, she's plotting
She is plotting, yeah.
against her husband.
Yep. So, do you think we are intentionally having some parallels here between Adam and Eve and Isaac, Rebekah, and then eventually Cain and Abel? Because what does Esau want to end up doing to Jacob? Wants to kill him.
Want to be in control, like
Well,
Yep.
you also have to wonder if she was misguidedly thinking she was making God's will happen. Like maybe she
Yeah.
wasn't even necessarily trying to play favorites, but this is what God told me was going to happen. I'm going to make sure that what
Yeah.
God said is going to happen. Like we often say, "Oh, I feel like God's calling me to do X, Y, Z thing, so I'm going to make that thing happen rather than trusting God
That's
that
going to
it'll
happen.
So
Yep.
maybe it's not even what we're perceiving here. Maybe it's just misguided attempts.
Yeah.
And could
maybe
even
it's a
be,
little bit of both.
and also could be Satan saying,
So-
"Hey, you've got to make sure this thing happens," and pulling her from the path. It's like we don't always have temptations that are set to wreck our life. Sometimes they're set to just deviate.
Yeah.
back a little bit.
So what we do end up having here, because there's a lot of deception and lying, working outside of creation order, all of that is showing the effect of sin, right? And we see God's hand is sovereign. He told her that the younger was going to serve the older, right? Do you think it's because God knew and he had already orchestrated how everything was going to play out? He already knew how everything was going to happen, just like he knows with us. He didn't need her help to do it.
But she thought he did.
But yeah, she thought it. But we
I mean, it was them from the very beginning, because look how Abraham and Sarah
are treating
Isaac.
them. Yeah.
From the very beginning, God said he is the promised line, or he is the promised child. And so Isaac, who was the promised child, even though there were other children.
Yeah.
I mean, he had
He'd
a
already
complex from the
factored
very
in
beginning.
her help.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So now listen to me, or now my son, listen to me, do exactly as I tell you. Go out to the flocks and bring me 2 fine young goats. I'll use them to prepare your father's favorite dish. So what's interesting there too is the food, and it's such a silly thing. Is it the same favorite dish? But is it the fact that Esau was making it, or just the fact that he really enjoys that particular dish? Does Esau do anything special to it? Isaac loves food. So
Well, you have to wonder if Isaac noticed the texture difference between
Yeah.
meats, because there's going to be a difference.
oh yeah, because he wanted wild game. He didn't want, goat.
I mean, obviously his vision is failing, but it doesn't say anything about his taste failing.
No. And that's one of the things about the other sensations. Then take the food to your father so he can eat it and bless you before he dies. But look, Jacob replied to Rebekah, my brother Esau is a hairy man, and my skin is smooth. So, does Jacob really want to do this just right off the bat? He's kind of, yeah, he's, I don't know about this. What if? Then verse 12, what if my father touches me? He'll see that I'm trying to trick him, and then he'll curse me instead of blessing me. But his mother replied, then let the curse fall on me, my son. Just do what I tell you. Go out and get the goats for me. So another good point of discussion here. Do we ever see in Scripture that we can transfer curses, like or a blessing? Like if a blessing's meant for somebody, can I just give it or move it?
I've always struggled with the humans actually blessing and cursing things anyway. Like they don't have the power to do so.
No.
So I've always struggled with why do they think that they can?
Yeah. So this is back to that Abrahamic promise. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. So it's God's power in this. But I mean, don't you think she knows better? Yeah, she understands, because we even see once the blessing is given to Jacob, you can't undo it. So if he were to have cursed Jacob, through using God's given authority here, could that really be transferred to Rebekah? No, and she knows better. So she's really stepping out on a limb there, and it's almost like she's kind of lying in a way. Like she knows this can't happen this way. All right.
I wonder what happened to little Rebekah that found that little.
Yeah, I know. It seems so different. So different.
It can't be easy being in a woman in her position either, because she's a hierarchy, really.
Yeah.
How wealthy they are.
Rebekah really parallels Sarah. Sarah tried to force God's blessing to happen before Isaac was born too. So like you see once again all these
pattern.
Women trying to force other alternative options.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but his mother replied, then let the curse follow me, my son. Just do what I tell you. Go out and get the goats for me. So Jacob went out and got the young goats for his mother. Rebekah took them and prepared a delicious meal just the way Isaac liked it. Then she took Esau's favorite clothes, which were there in the house, and gave them to her younger son, Jacob. She covered his arms and the smooth part of his neck with the skin of the young goats. Then she gave Jacob the delicious meal. I love how they keep saying it's a delicious meal. Like, that's been repeated several times. This got to be one heck of a soup. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, everybody wants the recipe.
Everybody wants the recipe. Everybody wants to make it for every gathering.
Yep. So then she gave Jacob the delicious meal, including freshly baked bread. So Jacob took the food to his father. My father, he said. Yes, my son, Isaac answered. Who are you, Esau or Jacob? Jacob replied, it's Esau, your firstborn son. I have done as you told me. Here's the wild game. Now sit up and eat it so you can give me your blessing. So he's kind of saying a whole lot, don't you?
But you think you would recognize the difference between the two voices.
Yep.
Unless he tried to mimic the other. He's trying to dress up like
Maybe.
Maybe.
Like, I feel like if Anya tries to mimic Carter, they're so different. Girl. I understand that, but we're talking about how huge the difference is between the two.
We are talking about twins, yep.
And I don't think that Isaac thinks that they would actually try to pull something like this. Like that would be the highest level of disrespect. And
honor your father and mother. And
if his eyesight is failing, so mine is.
There you go. So some of the things. But now when we get into verse 24, we'll talk about that a little bit more. So Isaac asked, how did you find it so quickly, my son? So does he think something's up and something's wrong?
Yeah,
something's not right. Yep. The Lord your God put it in my path, Jacob replied. Then Isaac said to Jacob, come closer so I can touch you and make sure that you are really Esau.
So like Jackson said, maybe he's expecting something not to go out.
Yeah. So he definitely has a gut feeling that something's not right in this.
And in a way, Jacob speaks against God here because he says, God put the game in my path.
Oh, yeah.
He's really burying himself deep with that.
Yep, he is. So, I mean, he's just outright lying, okay? So Jacob went closer to his father, and Isaac touched him. The voice is Jacob's, but the hands are Esau's, Isaac said. So can he tell? So back to the voice thing, his hearing is still with him. So he definitely has an odd gut feeling. Verse 23, but he did not recognize Jacob because Jacob's hands felt hairy just like Esau's. So Isaac prepared to bless Jacob. Now also, he thought he had this conversation in confidence, didn't he? So for all he's considering, how would anybody else know what he asked him to do and what was going to happen? But are you really my son Esau, he asked. Yes, I am, Jacob replied. So when he first talked to him, he was very wordy, wasn't he?
And now he's trying to slow it down.
He's trying to slow it down. Yes, I am. Yep. Yep. With the correct Hebrew answer there, he would have normally said, Esau am I. So something else we missed, just kind of going into the English here a little bit. Yeah, instead of even answering correctly, it's just, yep.
Kind
So,
of the, you said it.
yeah. It's a very short response. So he didn't even give him the appropriate response. So he knows that, hey, Dad's about to catch me because of my voice. So, yeah, she's ringing the bell.
My daughter's
That's a new ding dong.
You called her a ding dong for longer than
Lynn actually handed a box of ding dongs out of his room.
Oh my goodness. Wow. All right, so then Isaac said, now my son, bring me the wild game, let me eat it, and then I will give you my blessing. So Jacob took the food to his father, and Isaac ate it. He also drank the wine that Jacob served him. So do you think that there's a little bit more going on here? He's giving him, because he just asked for, the stew, the food. Then he added the bread. He's added the wine. Do you think it might be trying to alter things a little bit?
Well,
Yeah, go ahead and drink this.
placate him. He said, don't be suspicious, just eat and drink
Yep.
and be merry.
Yep. So
I think Isaac's figured it out.
Isaac's suspicious, and even later when he gets into when he figures out what's happened and he starts trembling, the Hebrew there for that is very intense. It's basically the strongest way that they could possibly say it. Yeah, because he even says that he felt like there was something off about it. So he knows something's up. And he's trying to do everything he can because he's practically blind. I mean, he's blind, and he knows how important this blessing is. He just wanted to eat. Bring me my food.
Second time in this family we've seen food trump everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Kind of funny.
Yeah, it is funny. All right. So Jacob took the food to his father, and Isaac ate it. He also drank the wine that Jacob served him. Then Isaac said to Jacob, please come a little closer and kiss me, my son. So Jacob went over and kissed him, and when Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, so this is what he's trying to do, get him close enough so he could smell him.
Definitely using all those senses.
He's really trying. So he's blind, but like, we were saying earlier, are all the senses gone?
Well,
No.
you also
And
have to wonder, the blindness being more recent, his senses aren't going to be as attuned as someone who was blind their whole life.
well, yes. And also, I mean, I probably should have said this sooner. He's physically blind right now, but because he's making such a big deal about the Esau by himself and the food, we're also seeing that he's spiritually blind. So that's supposed to be one of the implications here, that his love for the food, his love for the worldly things is trumping what's supposed to be his concern for the heavenly things. So yeah, he's definitely spiritually blind in this situation, and he's misguided. So Jacob went over and kissed him, and when Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, he was finally convinced. And he blessed his son. He said, the smell of my son is like the smell of the outdoors, which the Lord has blessed. So he brings him over, does a sniff test, which again, we even use that term now, didn't pass the sniff test, right? Something don't smell right about this. So it's kind of our caution and our concern. But he smells like goats. He smells like the outdoors. So he's completely deceived in all of the senses, but his gut feeling's still there. So I know I'm out of time, but that's what I got for you right now. We'll pick up verse 28, and he kind of has a bit of a poem here before he finishes and gives the blessing. So, Robert? Would you be so kind to pray us out, brother?